We need Xcode, we need Mac system. Those two are enough. And we need a iOS SDK, which is part of Xcode only. Once you install Xcode, we get iOS SDK as part of Xcode itself. So you don't need to worry about how to install all the tools, etc. Everything will be as part of Xcode only. Once you install Xcode, everything is there only. This is the Xcode symbol. Okay, you can download the Xcode from developer.apple.com. You can create your own account. It is a free of cost, but it is required to key in your credit or debit card, but the amount will not be debited. The Xcode can be installed either from here, like Xcode. Basically, it takes you to the App Store. Here you can find that. App Store is an application where all Mac applications are placed. Here I have already installed Xcode, so it is asking me to update to the latest version. The current version what I am using is 13.5. Okay, you can install the same, or 12.5 also fine, almost similar, but there might be few syntaxical changes. Those can be simply avoided. Coming back to the programming language is the Swift what we are using, and Objective-C we are not going to touch, but Swift is the one which is enough to get a job. At the end, you can learn Objective-C if you are interested and spend some time. But some of our concepts will be, I'll be comparing some of the concepts, like in Objective-C, this is how we write. In Swift, this is how we write. In Swift, we are going to cover from very basics, like what are the Swift features, data types, constants, variable, very basic things to very advanced thing. I'll also share you the link where you can find all the resources of original Apple developer portal, like Swift programming language, API, or book actually. These are the Swift features. Swift is a programming language which is used to develop applications for iOS in the sense iPhone as well as iPad, Mac OS like computer, the system, and the MacBook, the laptop which we are using, TV OS, Watch OS, iPad OS also have, but the programming language is same for all. Swift is a type-safe language. I'll prove why it is type-safe language, and high performance and faster compared to Objective-C. Objective-C was the programming language used for all these applications to develop. But Swift is the one which is the latest, introduced in 2014. Have been using from there, and modern and open source, very less code to write. Swift can be used along with Objective-C. If you know Objective-C, you can also use Swift as part of Objective-C project. If you know Swift, you can also use Objective-C as part of Swift. This is all about the basic overview, what we are using, what are the different tools we use, what language we use, etc. Coming to software, what is software, what is program? Program is a set of instructions which takes some input and produces some output in the form of data. The input taken by the program, compiled by the compiler and executed by the runtime system. There are, whenever any program runs, based upon the language, based upon the tools, there are two things involved. One is compiler, another one is the runtime system. In Java, something like compiler or an interpreter, etc. Compiler, what it does, whatever we write in English, that will be converted into one byte code, which is called ones and zeros, basically machine understandable for language, and that is processed by the runtime system, and the output will be given. One example is when you go to any Airtel service center, you need to take the token. How do you take the token? First, you will need to enter your number so that it gives you the token number. Okay, here the number, the mobile number which you are giving is the input, and that is processed by the the machine, vending machine, and one slip will be generated. On the slip, you will see a number, token number 7. Here, the number, the input what you are giving, the mobile number is some data, and that is processed by the vending machine, and that is the output will be given in the form of data, which is 7. 7 is also a data. Okay, if you want to book any kind of appointment, what you need to provide generally in hospital appointment, you need to provide your name, okay, age, like date of birth, and you need to provide your name and mobile number. Okay, once you tell all the information, that is processed by the software program, and the output will be given as Mr. DN Reddy, your appointment number is, time is so and so 11 o'clock. Okay, this is the address. That is the information which is output. Okay, here the data what you are giving to the program is of different types. Mobile number is one thing. If you simply give 97, my number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, that is number. If you want to give input to your name, that is string. If you want to give input as a single character, that is character. If you want to give weight, if someone asks you, like while booking the appointment in the hospital, it might ask you the weight. Okay, 55.5. That is floating point value actually with points. Basically, what I am trying to say here is the data is of different types. The input what we are going to give is different types, and the output also will be in different types. Type means this is one type, one whole number, there are no points. This is another type, float or double float, basically float with point, single character, which is called character type. Multiple characters, iOS 3 characters, that is string, true or false, that is boolean. These are the different types which we give as part of input. The output will be in the form of same types. I'll give you here what are the different data types we are having. Data types means based upon the input type, the types are classified into different data types, different names. One is int, another one is float, another one is double, another one is character, another one is string, boolean. There are many. We also create our own data types going forward. These are the different data types based upon our data. The data types are classified into different types. One is int. Int is useful for storing numbers. Float and double are useful to store the floating point values with points. Character for single character, multiple characters, string, boolean, true or false. Okay, these are the different types. We see, let's say I want to perform single small program, like I want to perform addition. What exactly happens whenever you give input? What happens? The RAM provides some space. Basically, there are two types of storages, RAM and like ROM. ROM means basically hard disk, what we say. RAM is one, random access memory, which is RAM. RAM is a small portion like 8 GB, 16 GB. Whenever you are performing any operation, some space will be allocated in the RAM. If you want to perform addition between two numbers, let's say I want to perform addition between 2, 2. Then what happens is for number 2, one space is allocated. For another number 2, the space is allocated in RAM. Okay, similarly, whenever you are giving any input, the input should be allocated with some space in RAM. Okay, we need to request the Xcode, the compiler, like first saving number 2, I need some space in RAM. Let me write a simple program here. I'm taking playground. Okay, this is how you need to take the playground. Xcode, file. You need to tap on Xcode first, then go to file, new file. Here, new playground. Playground is a lightweight editor. If someone asks you what is playground, playground is a lightweight editor to test our code. Let's say, first of all, I want to perform addition between 2 and 3. Okay, we know the output is 5. This is how you need to analyze. This is how you need to analyze. I want to perform addition between these two numbers. The output is going to be something like this, 5. Okay, here, how you need to analyze is what type it is, what type it is, what type it is. What is the input types, what are the input types, and what are the output types. Here, 2 is whole number, 3 is also whole number, 5 is whole number. Okay, all are whole numbers. So what I am trying to do here is we need to request RAM. RAM, I want to memory for storing number 2. I want to memory for storing number 3. Also, I want to memory for storing the result, which is number 5. All these are whole numbers. How to request compiler is let a after I want integer space to store the number 2. Here what it says is I want to store integer number, which is whole number 2. The type of that whole number is integer. Give the memory location and assign some name, give some name to the memory location a, so that I can call, instead of calling a, instead of calling 2, I can call it with a. One more memory I want memory of type integer to store the value 3. Assign some name to that memory, which is b, so that from next line onwards I can use, instead of 2 3, I can use a instead of 2, b instead of 3. And I also want to store some response, like a result. Let result equal to 2 plus 3, right? I want performing operation. I'm performing operation here, 2 plus 3, and result is integer type. Finally, print the result. Print is a function. In the braces, whatever you give, that is printed on console. This is called console area. This area is called console. It is running. Okay, the output is 5. The output is 5 because 2 plus 3 is 5. If you give here, let's say float, see what happens. We got 5.0 here. That is the difference actually. Float is floating point values, means with dots, with points. Okay, if you give string here, it is giving error because these two are numbers. So we are trying to put that in the string memory. Here I have integer memory, so integer I can put whole number, I can put here another integer memory, I can put number 3 here, another integer, but here result is of string memory. String means only strings. String means double quotations within the double quotes. Only strings can be placed. Okay, what I mean to say here is LHS should be RHS. LHS should equal to RHS, compatible. RHS means right hand side type, whatever we have, right hand side should be equivalent to the compatible with the left hand side. This is integer, so this is the right side integer, left side also you need to have the integer only, integer type only, then only it will take. Otherwise, if you give character, string or boolean, it won't take, it won't allow you, because these two are not compatible. Right hand side is not compatible with the left hand side boolean. This is integer, this is boolean. Take integer. It also says it. Type int cannot be used as boolean. Type int. The output is integer, cannot be used as boolean. That is what it says. Remember that LHS should be RHS. Okay. I want to say another example. I'm going to give another example here. I want to store the information about a person. Information about a person. Here one more thing, we have already given one name to the one's memory. You cannot give same name to another memory. Like a type into, I want to store 10. While storing the 10, if you give the same name, the compiler is in confusion whenever you are referring. Sorry, here we need to use a and we don't need to refer 2 plus 3, right? I'm using, let me do this. We calculated 2 plus 3. How we are calculating? We are referring variable name here. This is called variable name. We are referring variable name here. Here also we are referring variable name instead of 3. Okay. From here onwards, so we can use the variable names instead of 2 plus 2 comma 3. Okay. And one more thing, let a of type integer equal to 10. I want to store the 10. I'm requesting to the compiler give me some space for storing 10 of type integer and assign some name which is a. It is saying invalid redeclaration of a. Invalid means redeclaration means the name a is already used. The name a is already used, so you cannot use the same name. Here I can use C. Basically, you also need to understand the error, because we waste a lot of time without understanding the errors. Okay, if you understand the error, you can simply fix the errors. Invalid redeclaration. Redeclaration means already it is declared. A is declared, so we need to give some other name C. Hope this is clear. This is actually program we are performing the processing, and the output is given. The output is stored in the result. Let me store some information about the book. Okay, book contains name, author, also contains price, pages. Assume that these 4 are the 4 different properties a book contains. Name is, let's say, Swift. Author, let's say, Steve. Price is 200. Price is 199.50. Pages, assume that 200. This is the data which I want to save. I don't want to perform any operation here. Okay, I just want to save the information. To save the information, we need to request to the compiler that I want to store this kind of information. Give me some space and assign some name. Okay, how to request? Let name is collection of characters, right? This is a collection of characters. So I am using string here. I want to compiler. I need a space in RAM to store the information which is Swift. Swift is a string, so I need string type memory and assign some name to that. The name is name. Let author. Author is also a string. String means collection of characters, which is string. Compiler, give me some space in RAM to store the string value Steve and assign some name which is the author. Let price string, sorry, price is double 199.50, and similarly pages, which is whole number, right, 200. This is how we can save our book information. I'm saving book information here. If you want to print, you can also print book information. Name, author, price, page. I'm simply saving it. I'm not doing anything. I'm simply saving. I'm not performing any operation, and finally printing it. 5 is printed, the sum, and here we are using the book information we are printing. Swift, Steve, 199.5, and 200 are the pages. This is how we store the information. What I am trying to say here is, based upon your input, based upon your values, you need to take the data. You need to take data type. You need to specify that particular type. If you use int here, it will not accept because the right hand side is Swift. Sorry, right hand side is Swift, which is string. Left hand side name, which is integer. Integer memory is allocated. In integer memory, you're trying to put string, which is not allowed. Cannot convert value of type string to specified type. We have specified integer. In the memory is allocated, the memory name is name, which is of type integer. Put only integers. If you put integer, there is no error. If you put string, you need to specify string only. That is what I'm trying to say. Let me show you what are the different data types we are having. Integer we are having, double we are having, float we are having, string we are having, character we are having, bool we are having. These are the various data types we are having. There are many, but these are very, very basics. We can create our own data type by using these. These are called primitive data, predefined data types, which are given by the Swift. Okay, let me give some examples. Let name is after string. Name already creatures. We have already used it here. Okay, my name. Because if you give some name here, it says invalid redeclaration. Here, invalid redeclaration of name. Okay, here also I get ambiguous use of name. So I'm giving my name. Let double, let's say is double 31.5. Let weight float 76.50. Let initial is single character only, right? So I'm giving a. Let is trainer. Is trainer means only two values, yes or no. So it is true. Okay, these are the various types we are having based on the data what we want to save. Based upon that, we need to use the data type. This is all about what are the different data types we are having, why we use them, what is the fundamental, what are the different errors we get, how to analyze them, and how the program works, what we need to do. Okay, these are the various types we are having. Okay, one more thing here is this is let. We can also declare the same thing by using where also. Commenting, how to comment means if you want to comment multiple lines, commenting means dead code, we can say dead code. The compiler will not compile these lines of code. Okay. This is a single line comment. This is multi-line comment. Multi-line comment. This is how we give. Another way is select all, command and backslash. This is also one of the ways, but this is recommended. This looks neat actually compared to this. Okay, the same thing I can declare by using another way, that is called here instead of let, I can use where. There is a little difference here. Okay, when you use let, another one is where. These are the two different ways to declare. This is called declaration. Declaring variable, or also we can have called assignment, because here we are giving value also whenever you specify the variable name as well as you provide the value, that is called assignment. Because you need to understand the terminology as well. If someone in the team says assignment, here we are assigning something, you need to understand what is assigning or assignment. Okay, here if I simply give let a after integer, this is called declaration. This is declaration. This is assignment. Assignment means you are also providing the value. If you do not provide the value, this is called a declaration. Here, the difference between let and where. Here, where means variable. The name can be changed, the age can be changed, the weight can be changed. Here, is trainer. Today I am teaching. In future, after 2 months, I am not going to teach. Then you can put false. Okay. If you here it is accepting, no issue here. There is no error. If you use let here, see what it says. Cannot assign a value. Is trainer is a let constant. Let means constant. You cannot change the value. You cannot change the value. Okay. Initial, based upon this statement, we can change a couple of things here. Name cannot be changed, right? Once it is assigned, I will not change. I don't change my name. So that is constant. Let age can be changed, and weight also can be changed. Age will be varied, right? And weight also gains and losses. And initial cannot be changed once it is assigned. And is trainer. Few times I train, otherwise I don't teach. Sometimes I don't teach. Then it is changeable. Changeable things can be declared. Things can be declared by using where. Constants can be declared by using let. That is what I am trying to say here. The difference between let and where. Let is to declare the constants. Where is to declare variables, changeable things. Based upon our data itself, we can identify what is changeable and what is not changeable. If it is changeable, declare that by using where. If it is not changeable, it is going to be constant. Use let. Okay. Today we have discussed what is program, how the program processes, what is input, what is output, what are the different types of inputs we are having, what are the different types of outputs we are having, how to request some memory in the RAM and assign some name, what are the different errors we get, and what are the how to analyze them, what is the difference between let and where, how to print the information. This is all about for today's class. Tomorrow we extend this and see some more data types, like some more examples with the data types. Thank you for watching.